The Amazon is one of the harshest and most dangerous environments on the planet, where every creature must fight, adapt, and constantly evolve to survive. Amidst this struggle for survival, how do species manage to survive? Amazon. A journey of survival in a harsh world. Light mist blankets the towering trees. Morning light filtering through the leaves, painting the Amazon rainforest in a mysterious green. Beneath the damp ground, countless creatures stir, while the high canopy echoes with the calls of monkeys and the chirping of forest birds. This is one of the most complex and diverse ecosystems on the planet, where life and death are separated by only a breath. In that silence, a predator silently advances. The jaguar, the largest cat in the Americas, doesn't need a roar to assert its dominance. With its muscular body, short, strong legs, and the strongest jaws in the feline family, it is a silent assassin. The rose-colored spots on its skin are not just camouflage, but a symbol of a skilled hunter. It is tracking a group of capybaras. The wind is blowing favorably for the stalking. With each step, it lowers its center of gravity, moving close to the ground as if gliding over decaying grass. Not far from the riverbank, a group of capybaras are leisurely grazing and bathing in the cool water. As the world's largest rodents, capybaras have a rounded body, short legs, and live a semi-aquatic life, closely tied to swamps and rivers. They live in groups of 10 to 20 individuals, always with a leader guarding them. With their eyes and noses positioned high on their heads, they can observe while submerged and are ready to dive to safety when danger arises. In the peaceful morning, some bask in the sun, others teach their young to swim. The soft sounds echoing as an affirmation that everything is still safe. At least for now. They didn't know that from within the forest, death was approaching, slow, silent, and merciless. Then, suddenly, the leopard lunged. The leopard gripped its prey tightly. Its eyes still scanning the surroundings, and began dragging its prey deep into the dense forest where the thick canopy obscured the light to avoid predators. Under the still water, a slight movement flickered through the thick layer of water hyacinth. It wasn't wind. It was a sleek, coiled body like a giant rope. An anaconda, the world's largest snake, nearly 6 meters long and weighing over 100 kilograms. It lay motionless, its eyes almost blending into the muddy water. Unlike leopards, the anaconda doesn't hunt in a hurry. It waits, and when the time is right, it constricts until life is gone. When the forest transforms for the rainy season, the water rises, submerging the trees, and soft mud spreads throughout the lowlands. That's when the anaconda's breeding season begins. In their world, mating is not a love affair, but a biological siege. A giant female lies silently amidst the floating water lilies. The pheromones she releases spread with the current, attracting dozens of males from all directions. Instead of fiercely fighting like horned species, they cling to the female's body, forming a vibrant mating ball that lasts for hours, even days. During this process, only the strongest and most resilient males pass on their genes. This is a form of harsh, silent, and constricted selection. With their aquatic lifestyle, anacondas possess perfectly adapted bodies. Eyes and noses on top of their heads, smooth skin, strong muscles, and the ability to hold their breath for extended periods. This allows them to easily ambush prey from murky swamps where few creatures dare venture. After mating, the female typically intensifies her hunting to replenish her energy. Pregnant for up to 6 months, it will give birth to an average of 20 to 40 offspring, tiny creatures that already possess a killer instinct inherited from their mother. The rainy season brings life and also awakens the smallest, most deadly army in the jungle. From the decaying leaves, a black stream emerges. Army ants. Instead of building nests, they move constantly, hunting in swarms. Each individual is a perfect link, communicating via pheromones, coordinating without needing commands. Simply detecting a vibration, hundreds of individuals swarm forward, constricting their prey with sharp jaws. In minutes, a spider the size of a hand is reduced to an empty shell. No strength is needed, only numbers and strategy. That's how these tiny creatures conquer the entire forest. When the Amazon rainforest enters its wettest season, mating calls echo through the darkest corners of the forest. It's the mating season for jaguars. Males follow the pheromone trail, confronting each other with warning roars. Mating is intense and lasts for many days. Then it all ends, and each individual returns to their familiar solitude. After mating, the leopard sinks back into the solitary shadows of the forest, as if by instinct for survival. High above, life resounds with the lively calls of the troop and constant movement. Amidst the dense branches, the Capuchin monkeys leap and swing like a symphony of coordinated movements. With their long, flexible tails like a fifth arm and their nimble hands, capuchins can maintain excellent balance in the three-dimensional environment of the forest canopy. Capuchin monkeys are also renowned for their superior intelligence. They know how to use stones to crush hard nuts, use branches to chase insects, and memorize complex paths in the forest labyrinth. Younger individuals learn from older individuals. This transmission of experience is fundamental to the troop's survival. There is always at least one individual on guard duty, sitting at the highest point, watching out for predators. When danger is detected, it will let out a loud alarm howl that is immediately relayed to the other members. And in an instant, the entire pack disappears as if they were never there. In the Amazon, where every canopy of leaves can conceal a pair of predatory eyes, cohesion and intelligence are the ultimate weapons that help capuchins survive, not by strength, but by wisdom and the spirit of the pack. From the top of the forest canopy, where only a few rays of sunlight penetrate through the dense foliage, a huge black shadow silently glides through the air. No sound, no warning. Only a whistling gust of wind as an invisible warning. The harpy eagle, the ruler of the Amazon sky. With a wingspan of over 2 meters and talons as long as a bear's claws, the harpy doesn't need to attack in a pack. Alone, it is powerful enough to snatch an adult monkey from a tree, dragging it out of the forest canopy in the blink of an eye. Its sharp, knife-like eyes pierce through the foliage, locating its prey with the slightest movement. Lower canopies, a melodious chirp rings out. It is a toucan with a huge, colorful beak that seems heavy, yet is surprisingly hollow and light. The beak is not only for picking fruit from distant branches, but also helps regulate body temperature in the year-round hot and humid climate. In swampy areas, jacanas, water-walking birds, glide gracefully on lotus leaves thanks to their unusually long toes, as if born to glide on the water's surface. Amidst the vibrant world of wings, there is a creature that seems to defy all of them, slow, quiet, and almost motionless. On moss-covered branches, a grey shadow clings tightly to the wood, moving millimetre by millimetre as if time has no meaning. That is the three-toed sloth, a living symbol of patience in the Amazon rainforest. With its long, curved claws and weak muscles, the sloth cannot run or fight. But its slowness is a survival strategy. It helps the sloth avoid the sight of keen predators like harpies or leopards. Even its fur is covered in moss, providing perfect camouflage among lichen-covered tree trunks. Their lazy eating habits, minimal movement, and only coming ashore about once a week to relieve themselves are risky but unavoidable behaviors. Despite this, they have survived millions of years of evolution through their slow pace and passive adaptation to a dangerous world. As the sun rises, its light illuminating the winding river through the jungle, life on the water's edge comes alive. From amidst the reeds, the distinctive chirping of giant otters rings out. A group emerges from the water, gliding smoothly like living arrows. They frolic, call to each other, and constantly dive for fish in the riverbed. Their sharp eyes and sensitive whiskers help them locate prey even in murky water. Despite their playful appearance, giant otters are true hunters. In just a few minutes, a large fish is nestled in their sharp jaws. When Caiman crocodiles appear, the otters don't run away. They gathered, signaled, and then simultaneously launched an attack. Their close bond and pack tactics forced even a fully grown crocodile to retreat. On the shore, the otter family rested, sunbathing, while one individual remained on guard. Wary of crocodiles or jaguars. In the daylight, the giant otters didn't hide. They were open, noisy, and united as one of the Amazon's most close-knit families. After being chased away by the giant otters, the caiman silently drifted back to the tranquil swamps where sunlight struggled to penetrate the dense foliage, and the water was covered in green water lilies. As a semi-aquatic reptile, the caiman was born to hide. Its prominent eyes and nostrils allowed it to observe and breathe while its entire body was submerged. Its thick, armor-like skin and ability to remain motionless for hours made it an effective ambush hunter, waiting for unsuspecting prey to fall within its reach. But in the jungle, even an ambusher can make mistakes. From the bushes along the riverbank, the jaguar had been watching it for a long time. Unlike most cats, jaguars are not afraid of water. On the contrary, swamps are part of its familiar hunting territory, teeming with slow but dangerous prey. Silent as the darkness, the jaguar lowered its body, slowly pressing down into the damp mud. Then, in a flash, the jaguar lunged out. The jaguar dragged its prey ashore, disappearing into the forest, leaving the water calm as if nothing had ever happened. Although a top predator of the Amazon, the jaguar is now facing an enemy it cannot fight with its claws or teeth: humans. Deforestation, poaching, and habitat loss have caused a dramatic decline in jaguar numbers. From Mexico to Argentina, their range has shrunk considerably in the last few decades. Many areas that were once jaguar territory now only remain as memories. Currently, the jaguar is listed as threatened by the IUCN. Some small populations have become extinct locally, while the remaining individuals live in fragmented patches of forest, struggling to find mates and stable food sources. In the heart of the Amazon, the world's largest rainforest, every breath, every step is part of a great battle for survival. From solitary jaguars to close-knit otters, from ambushing Caiman crocodiles to swarming army ants, each species contributes to the ceaseless symphony of the wild. Here, death is not the end, but a necessary link to sustain life. Each individual, each species plays a role, whether predator or prey, small creature or ruler of the swamp. But that balance is more fragile than ever. When forests are cut down, rivers are filled in, and the roar of the leopard is replaced by the sound of machinery, this entire ecosystem could collapse not from a lack of powerful beings, but from a loss of connection. Preserving the roar of the leopard, the leap of the monkey, and the rhythm of the forest is not only about protecting nature, but also about preserving the very soul of this planet. In the heart of wild South America, the Amazon rainforest stretches like an endless sea of trees. Where time seems to stand still and life operates according to the harshest laws of nature. In that world, it is not tigers, leopards, or crocodiles that reign supreme, but a silent, invisible creature that possesses deadly power, the anaconda, the giant snake known as the ghost of the swamps. Among them, one stands out as a female, known by a name passed down with reverence by the locals. Arowana. The dry season arrives slowly but cruelly, the water receding from the swamps, leaving behind thick mud and the pungent smell of dead fish. But for the Arowana, this is not just a time of scarcity, but a signal heralding a sacred period. The mating season has arrived. Ancient instincts awakened, urging her to leave her familiar territory and embark on a perilous journey through dangerous lands, seeking a gathering place for the males. A place where water still lingered, damp and filled with the faint scent of pheromones. Arowana crept silently through the shadows, hiding among dense bushes, passing fire ant nests and avoiding the gaze of predatory leopards. But her greatest enemy was now her own kind, other females in heat and aggressive males ready for fierce battles, not to kill, but to compete for mating rights. One misty morning, Arowana reached a large swamp where a dozen or so males had already sensed her presence. A giant snake ball formed, their bodies intertwined in a massive, slow-moving, slippery and haunting mass. For hours, even days, the Arowana lies at the heart of this wet struggle, choosing a mate in a frenzy of instinct. For the Arowana, this is not just a biological moment, but the beginning of another crucial stage of survival: pregnancy, reproduction, and the protection of its species in a place where nature never shows mercy. After hours of struggling in the thick mud of mating, the Arowana triumphs, not only securing the strongest mate, but also carrying within it a new life. For the anaconda, there is no home, no care from a partner, only the unwavering strength of a mother. In the following weeks, the arowana's body begins to change. Thicker, slower, but also infinitely more dangerous. She retreats to the deep swamp, where light cannot reach, and the dark water reflects the shadows of trees like silent sickles. Here, she rests, recharges, and avoids all conflict, only moving when forced to hunt, carefully considering every movement so as not to threaten the lives of the dozens of growing fetuses in her womb. While the swamp becomes silent beneath Arowana's heavy belly not far away, the Amazon sky resounds with sounds not hissing, but shouts, screams, and even laughter. High above the giant kapok trees, where the rare sunlight penetrates through the canopy, lies the kingdom of the most mischievous creatures of the jungle, the Amazonian monkeys, typified by the howler monkey and the sake monkey. A dominant male, Toko, a howler monkey with jet black fur and an unusually large neck, takes a deep breath. A second later, the forest roars with a resounding howl echoing for miles, a powerful declaration of dominance to any intruder. The females and their young intertwine on the branches, leaping and dancing like dancers suspended in midair. They are playful, but also always vigilant, for danger can come from anywhere. Harpy eagles overhead, leopards on the ground, and even their own kind during territorial invasions. In the lower reaches of the forest, 100-kilogram tapir silently wades through the damp mud. With its long, flexible snout resembling a short trunk, it sniffs the earth, inhales the scent of leaves, and gently chews on soft blades of grass. A calm herbivore, yet constantly haunted by the claws of a jaguar. At the slightest sound, it will dart like a bullet, diving straight into the river to escape the imminent danger of death. On the damp forest floor, an army ant leads an invisible army. They need no nest, only a signal. Thousands of them simultaneously lunge forward, attacking any insect, reptile, or even young bird that fails to escape. Above, colourful jacamars and tanagers, like winged gemstones, fly back and forth among the trees, vying for seeds, insects, and the precious sunlight that filters through the ancient forest. And then, amidst a decaying tree trunk, a creature smaller than a fingertip appeared, yet carrying death in a single touch. The poison dart frog. With its vibrant blue skin and fiery black spots, it was the Amazon's warning symbol, small, beautiful, and deadly. The poison on its skin was enough to kill dozens of adults, and was what the natives had used for generations to coat their hunting arrows. Time passed in silence. The Amazon changed seasons again, the first rains pattering on the canopy, trickling down the old roots in small streams. In a secluded swamp, sheltered by tall grass and a thick layer of algae clinging to the water's surface, Arowana no longer hunted. Her enormous body was heavier than ever. Her back swelled, glistening with rainwater, each movement slow and heavy. Contractions began to rumble like distant drums, signaling an unseen moment. The day of childbirth had arrived. No nest, no mate, no help. In the darkness of the deep forest, Arowana began to give birth. A process both instinctive and violent. Her body convulsed violently, her back arched, and then individual offspring crawled out from her damp, fragile body, shimmering like living ribbons. Anacondas give birth through their bodies, not laying eggs. The first creatures quickly crawled out. Instinct guiding them to hide in the moss, far from the sight of any predators. There was no cuddling, no nursing. In the world of the anaconda, the newborn is a warrior from the very first moment. They were nearly half a meter long, already had teeth, knew how to swim, and were ready to kill small prey if necessary. Arowana lay motionless in the mud, breathing heavily. Sweat? No. It was rain. The torrential rain washed away the blood and mucus from her body like a purification ritual after completing the most sacred mission of life. Nearly 30 hatchlings had been born. But the Amazon rainforest never promises survival to everyone. The weakest will be devoured by their kind. Those who are slow will become prey for birds of prey, otters, or even the piranhas lurking beneath the calm water. Arowana knew that. She didn't turn to look at them. She didn't need to know who survived, because, for her, the mission was complete. One life cycle closed, to begin a new, cruel, but unstoppable cycle of survival. In the moment the Amazon rainforest seemed to quiet down after the heavy rain, a peaceful group of creatures began moving towards the riverside meadow, where the sun shone down on the water, which shimmered like a mirror. It was a herd of capybaras, the world's largest rodents, sometimes called the tailless beavers of South America. Leading them was a large alpha male weighing about 60 kilograms, with a perpetually damp grey-brown coat, large, alert round eyes, and prominent dark yellow incisors. The entire group consisted of more than a dozen individuals, including nursing females and tiny, weeks-old pups with soft, moss-like fur always nestled close to their mother's belly. Capybaras are semi-aquatic mammals with webbed toes that allow them to swim skillfully. They feed on grass, roots, and fallen fruit, sometimes consuming more than 3 kilograms of vegetation per day. Although docile, they live in highly organized groups, communicating through a range of sounds such as hissing, growling, and even a small whistling. They are observant and believe in the sounds of the wind. But today, the wind was very still, and that was the most frightening moment. In a shallow section of the river downstream, where mud covered flat rocks, a long shadow lay motionless beneath the water hyacinths. It was Arowana, after weeks of rest, now hungry and needing energy to recover after giving birth. Her cold eyes watched the capybaras slowly approaching the water's edge, unaware that death lay at their feet. A young capybara, separated from its mother, playfully splashed in the water. Its cry ringing out. That was enough of a signal for Arowana to act. Without a sound, its massive body shot up from the water like a living whip. Arowana slowly tightened its grip on its prey one last time before opening its wide jaws and swallowing the now silent limp body piece by piece. It wasn't just a meal, it was proof that in the Amazon rainforest, no matter how agile, how gregarious, or how vigilant, no one was truly safe when the green phantom crept by. As darkness descends upon the riverbank where death has just claimed the capybara herd high above, the Amazon rainforest blazes in another world, a world of color and song. And nothing represents this vibrant life more vividly than the macaw, a bird that embodies all the colors of the tropical forest. A pair of macaws, male and female, spread their wings among the low clouds. Their plumage ablaze as if hand-painted, fiery red, emerald green, golden like the midday sun. With wingspans nearly a meter wide and strong, curved beaks like iron pincers, they fly in pairs, their piercing songs serving both as a signal and a declaration of territory. Macaws are lifelong companions. They not only fly together, but also forage for seeds and fruit and protect their nest from predators such as tree snakes, birds of prey, or even monkeys. As twilight descends upon the Amazon rainforest, the mist gradually dissipates over the water, revealing a magical scene on the steep riverbanks where the most vibrant life converges on seemingly lifeless land. A flock of macaws gathers. From across the forest, hundreds of brightly colored macaws, red, blue, yellow, purple, converge like a whirlwind of color. Their resounding calls echo through the air like the boisterous laughter of a green forest festival. This is not a courtship ritual, nor a nest-building one, but an ancient, strange, yet vital ceremony for their survival. Eating the earth. Macaws, along with a host of other macaw species such as the green-headed macaw, the yellow-green macaw, and the small parakeet, crowd the clay riverbanks using their powerful, curved beaks to peck at and swallow chunks of soil. This strange behavior, seemingly pointless, is actually a perfect survival strategy. The clay helps neutralize the natural toxins in the wild fruits they eat, substances that, if left untreated, could poison these birds. The sight of hundreds of brightly colored birds pecking at the earth simultaneously creates a vibrant symphony where color, sound, and movement intertwine against the deep brown ground. They soar, change positions, and call out to each other in their own language in mid-air, creating one of the most spectacular and unique sights of the Amazon rainforest. It's a moment when nature ceases to be a hunting ground and becomes a shared stage for a wondrous symbiosis. And then, after their fill of earth, the entire flock of macaws simultaneously flaps their wings and departs, flying back into the forest canopy in pairs, leaving behind a churned but meaningful ground, a testament to a strange yet intelligent evolutionary behavior. In the fading twilight, the sound of their wings recedes, like the final melody of the day in the heart of the vibrant wilderness. As the sun rose high, its dazzling reflection shimmering on the vast Amazon River, the entire forest seemed gilded. But in that water, there was not only light, but also creatures motionless, as if petrified. On a sandy bank jutting out into the river, dark grey bodies lay basking in the sun. These were black caimans, the most dangerous predators of South America's freshwater ecosystem. They lay silently, motionless in the sun, like rotting logs. But don't let appearances deceive you. Beneath their rough skin are bulging muscles and lightning-fast reflexes. Black caimans are cold-blooded, and basking in the sun is not just for warming their bodies, but also a tactic for resting and concealing their intentions. An adult can be over 5 meters long, weigh over 300 kilograms, and is strong enough to take down a deer, a wild boar, or even a jaguar if the opportunity arises. The hatchlings huddle at the water's edge, under the watchful eye of their mother, one of the few reptile species to exhibit maternal care. Each tiny chirp from the baby crocodile alerted its mother, ready to leap into the water at any moment. Waterfowl like herons and egrets still dared approach, searching for scraps of fish, but a single dart from the crocodile would send the water splashing and returning to silence as if nothing had happened. Beneath the drifting water hyacinths and algae, pairs of eyes silently watched every movement. Black Caiman crocodiles don't hunt during the day, but if given the chance, they won't miss. A young monkey slipping while drinking, a bird venturing too deep. These are mistakes that cost lives. Amidst the peaceful scene of light and birdsong, darkness still lurked beneath the water's surface. And if anyone mistakenly thinks that daytime is the safest time in the Amazon rainforest, they certainly haven't seen a black Caiman crocodile open its mouth in the sunlight and eyeing its approaching prey. In the brilliant midday sun, the Amazon River seemed to be asleep. The black Caiman crocodiles lay scattered on the sandbars, stretching out in the sun, their eyes narrowed as if oblivious to the world around them. A mature male, over 4 meters long, left the water's edge, slithering down into the nearby swamp, where tree roots intertwined and water lilies covered the surface. But beneath that still water, Aruna waited. She didn't hunt during the day often, but her post-pregnancy hunger and the bloodthirsty instincts of the ultimate predator had driven her to take the risk. In the dark mud, Aruna lay motionless for hours, her muscles blending seamlessly with the swamp's depths. Her cold eyes peered through the water, calculating every movement of the approaching crocodile, unaware that today the hunter would become the hunted. When the Caiman reached the water's edge, the attack happened in 1/10 of a second. Silent, precise, and brutal. The struggle dragged on in the mud, scattering the weeds and creating swirling bubbles. Finally, as the Caiman's body went limp, Arowana began the most terrifying part. Devouring. Each part of its spiny body, its tough, scaly skin, gradually disappeared into her gaping jaws. Like gates to hell. As Arowana silently sank to the bottom of the swamp, her belly bulging, the water's surface returned to stillness. The surrounding landscape still shone brightly in the midday sun. Birds still sang. Butterflies still flew. But a king had been overthrown. The Amazon, a world of brilliance, primal and full of contradictions. A place where life and death intertwine in every blade of grass, every river, every drop of rain. But that beauty is wavering. Every year, thousands of hectares of the Amazon rainforest are cleared for agriculture, logging, and urban development. Each burned forest is a piece of the planet's soul torn apart. And with it, creatures like the arowana, the great anaconda, the caiman, the macaw, the capybara, and the giant otter are disappearing before humans can fully understand them. The anaconda, though fearsome to many, is an extremely important link in the ecological balance. They control the number of herbivores, prevent population explosions, and keep the forest system from collapsing. Without predators like the arowana, the Amazon would no longer be the Amazon, but a chain of ecological disasters. Today, international and local conservation organizations are working to protect this forest, establishing biological reserves, educating indigenous communities, applying satellite technology to monitor deforestation, and introducing forest knowledge into schools. But these efforts will be meaningless if the rest of the world turns its back and ignores it. We cannot save the Amazon with guns, with bans, or with temporary pity. We can only protect it with understanding. Understanding that every animal here, whether a giant python, a poisonous frog, or a ground-eating parrot, is an indispensable part of life. Understanding that saving the Amazon is saving the lungs of the planet and saving the future of humanity.